Raven with Max and Brent, unlocking the minds of the industry's top real estate professionals. And now, here are your hosts, Max Raven and Brent Jackson.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Keaton Podcast. I'm Max Raven.
And I am Brent Jackson.
Brent, today our guest is Melanie Frank with Aspen Snowmass Sotheby's International Realty in Colorado. How is Colorado right now, Melanie?
It is beautiful. Thank you for asking. It is, I'll tell you what, we finally, the leaves have bloomed and the flowers are coming out. Our spring is obviously much more delayed. I'm in the mountains and it's spectacular. It's just gorgeous. We are actually in the mid-60s now.
Oh, wow.
So Melanie, the reason we invited you on the show is obviously you got great sales history out there in Colorado, and we love our secondary markets, our tertiary markets, we always call them. We've had some great interviews, but you are a master ninja. You are involved with the ninja selling. I don't know what you call it, the world of ninja selling. Did it start with a book? To me, here, I'll describe ninja selling, and then you can say if I'm right or wrong, because I've done the ninja selling installation. It's basically a system of like positive thinking mixed with some routines to keep yourself on that positive thinking track so that you can connect with your clients on a more personal and real level rather than make everything too mechanical or too salesy. And it's also a little cultish in a way. Maybe you can talk about that. But why don't you describe ninja selling to us? How do you think about it?
I like your description, and I think that because you have been through the Ninja program, it's exciting to hear what your version of it is. You know, ninja selling is something that was created by Larry Kendall in Fort Collins, Colorado. Arguably, he's one of the top 3 real estate coaches and trainers in the world. And I would describe ninja selling as systems and processes that we can build in to build a better business. Our focus really is going to be around, how can I change my, really focus my mindset, my skill set, and my actions to create an on-purpose business. But then on top of that, we really want to focus on our goal of ninja selling is to earn more money per hour so that you can have a life. We disguise our installation and the 4 days of pretty intense, deep training as a real estate training. But what it really is, and maybe this is where you get into the cultish part, it really are tips and traits and suggestions on how you can implement this into your daily life. And it really changes your perception of the way that you see the world. And what happens then is you start to see it in a more positive light and you start to enjoy your life.
So I will tell you that the couple things about like the positive aspect of it from my experience with it. So it's been a while since I did the ninja training, but I remember it. I mean, I remember it well because I remember it was kind of like a big change for me in the way I approached my business from that point. First of all, I think it was like it's 3 days, right? For the full training,
4 days,
right?
4 full days.
4 days, 4 full days. So immediately I remember the company was like, we're going to be doing this. We want everyone as much participation as possible, and it's going to be 4 days. And I'm like, we have to be in a room for 4 days? Like, this is crazy.
All day, too.
Yeah,
All
like
day.
full day. Yeah.
And we had 120 TTR, Sotheby's International Realty, agents, leaders, in marketing, all in one room. And guess what? We did it, didn't we?
We did it, and it went by quickly. And didn't miss anything. You're always worried like, oh, I'm going to be out for 4 days and like missing this or not be. It was fine, obviously. And I don't know. I just wanted to like touch on a couple things though. Like, let's talk about a couple of the methods in the process. So one thing that I remember really specifically was you want us to write things every morning. Are there affirmations, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
So why?
Why is that so important? Okay, let's go into, we call that the morning routine. And in the mornings, every single morning, our goal is really for you to follow 5 very easy, very simple steps. They're part of what we call the Ninja 9 habits. Your morning routine are the daily habits. And the first thing you want to do is wake up with a grateful heart. And when you get out of bed and you grumble and you just hit that alarm clock, you go, oh, I can't believe it's already time to wake up. Shift your mindset into an attitude of gratitude. Go into thinking about three things that you are grateful for before perhaps you even get out of bed. And then get out of bed and start to go into your morning routine of, maybe it's making coffee. But one of the goals with our affirmations are very powerful for any of that limiting beliefs, any of our self um, thoughts that we have that are limiting. If we want to change something in our programming, if we want to change something in our life, affirmations are the way to do it. And what they do is they work with the non-conscious portion of our brain. I'm fascinated by the non-conscious portion of our brain. What it does, it's really, it has so much power that we have not even discovered yet. But the non-conscious mind believes everything that we tell it to be true right now. So if you've had a really positive experience, it believes that it's happening right now. And all of a sudden, you're starting to focus on more of that. But unfortunately, it works in the reverse. If you're thinking about something that's very negative, you're reliving a bad experience in your life, maybe it's a real estate deal, maybe it's something bigger. The more you relive it and the more you go down that cycle, your non-conscious mind believes it's happening right this moment. So the goal of an affirmation is to take a present day goal that you really are hoping that in the future will happen and act as if it's happening today. Because the other key thing about your non-conscious mind that it believes everything to be true right now. So you want to say, for example, I enjoy earning X amount of dollars by December 31st, 2023. You want to, and it's happening. For if you think you have a listing goal, I know there's a lot of realtors out there right now that are thinking, I've got some room in my portfolio for a few more listings. You could have an affirmation that says, I enjoy listing and selling X amount of listings by August 31st, 2023. I enjoy listing and selling. It's happening right now. Act as if. And so affirmations are key. Now, how do I do an affirmation, really make it stick? It takes about 21 to 30 days for a habit to really stick. So our goal is for you to tell your non-conscious mind over and over and over again that this is happening. So you want to actually handwrite this out, whatever your affirmation is, 25 times for at least 30 days. Going back to that financial affirmation, I have seen that work over and over again. Our top ninjas never let that go. They always continue their financial affirmation. They just keep building on it.
So a couple questions on that. What happens after 30 days for the top agents, 21, 28 days, whatever that may be? And then another roadblock, I did Ninja as well. So, and I did the affirmations like the week after, and then I just went back to my old habit. So to me, that's a roadblock. And talking to some other agents, they'll do it for a short time after, and then they stop. So a potential roadblock. And then what would you suggest to the agents that do it for the 5 days after, and then they don't pick it back up again, the affirmation portion?
The thing about the ninja systems and everything in ninja, and even really everything in life, it's easy to do, but it's easy not to do. It's very easy not to. It's very easy for us to go back into our old habits. Now, what you need to really think about is, why do I want to make this change in my life? Let's go to affirmations specifically. So Brent, let's just say that you know that there's some limiting beliefs that you have, and there's something that that you would like to improve upon in your life. Maybe it's not financial, maybe it's something that is different, but the goal is, if you really want to make a change, number one, you have to make a vote that you're going to do it, and really start to just say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this for 30 days. And it's going to take dedication. It's going to take change. Our non-conscious mind is also responsible for keeping us in what we call homeostasis. It wants to keep us right in our current frame of mind. They don't want anything to change. So we have to challenge that. And so baby steps. So if it's the affirmation, be diligent about it. Make it non-negotiable. Really focus on that. But I think that to your point, there's a lot of information that comes out of those 4 days. No ninja does ninja the exact same way. Our biggest goal for you is to choose what is going to work for you. What's the most important? What spoke to you? And make that a habit first, and then go into the rest.
I wanted to mention one of the things that one of the exercises that I remember from the ninja training was you had us write contracts to ourselves with an amount of income, but you based it off of like a net income. You said, okay, first of all, think about how much money you're going to need to pay all of these bills, and then how much money, like, and really add it up. So you're sitting there thinking about like, what is my rent or my mortgage? What is my car payment? What is this? Utilities? Do you have kids in private school? All of it. You're like, list it all. Am I right? Am I remembering this correctly?
Yes, you're exactly right.
Okay. I I never forget this because I'm sitting next to Michael Rankin, who is the managing partner of our company, a super successful agent. I'm sitting next to him doing this exercise. So
You're
I'm writing.
looking his shoulder.
I'm trying to look over his shoulder, but he was being very okay. So it was a huge number, I'm sure. Okay, and I didn't get to see it, but so I'm doing my numbers, and I'm writing everything down. I'm like, yeah, this sounds like this would be great to earn this much money, and I'm like, let's just like double it, or I'm just being like ambitious because I think you were like, you're putting pressure on us, like really, you go there, and lo and behold, Melanie, I have made that money, the number I put there, and but you also had another agent like confirm what we wrote, right? Like to sort of like
hmm
accountability, and Michael signed mine. Okay, he was like, he looked at mine, he was like, oh, okay,
Oh, okay. Let's
is
do
that where
this.
you're going? You
Yeah.
know, and so when I finally hit that number, I was like, ninja,
Did you take
right
it
there.
back to him?
No, I
No.
have. He doesn't care. He cares, but
TSW, he does care, and I think he would really be excited to hear that. That you had made that. We have a saying in ninjas called TSW, the system works. That
mhm,
that entire process, that activity that we do, is probably one of the least favorite in the entire installation because it's that uncomfortable moment that you really have to get real about your finances, because we
yeah,
don't do that. In most people in life don't really take a hard dive and a hard look at where I am today financially. What is the minimum that I need to make? What is if I could dream big, what is that number? What is the life that I really want to have? But we start that also with really thinking about your life list, your bucket list, your passion list, the things that you want to accomplish in your life. And you can't do that if you don't know where you are currently. We need to have just kind of rip the band-aid, if you will, and really start to think about, okay, ownership of this. And then when you really have that goal, you have clarity. When you have clarity, you start to focus on it, and look what you did. So congratulations to you, Max.
thank you.
You still write that goal down?
Um, I listen. I've always kind of ebbed and flowed because you know how business is. We were talking about numbers a few times this year on the show, and um, business isn't what it was a year ago or 2 years ago. But I really do focus on that number. I focus on what I want to earn, and obviously where you need to be comfortable, but also what's ambitious, like, and I aim for that, and that's part of it. And you're right, it is an affirmation thing. You have to get up in the morning and you have the right attitude set however you get there, and I just also want to say about the affirmation aspect, about like writing things down and waking up and like reminding yourself, like, come from a space of gratitude. Like I'm also dealing with this in my household right now too, because I have a 12-year-old middle schooler stepdaughter who is, she's going through some changes, okay? And she comes up a lot on the show. But it's like I want to bring this to her too, this,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
it's such a gift.
right. And I've tried to explain this to her in simple terms. I'm like, in order to develop these new habits that you're going to need to get to like the next level, you're going to be in high school soon, all these things, you're going to need to study harder. You're going to need to like create a path or a track for yourself, and you're going to have to stick to it. It can't be just 1 day or 2 days. You really have to build it into your whole life. So we're trying to get to that point,
Okay, let's talk about teenagers for just a second. I know
let's
that
go.
you are very, you're active and have a lot of success with TikTok. What about taking a message that you really want to get across or convey to maybe our younger generations, and put it into their terms, the way that they take in information?
Hmm.
A TikTok around gratitudes, showing how the responses are, could be a huge one. One around affirmations, and then showing what the responses are, and the examples of how those have worked in people's lives. And it's everything from schoolwork, from just the way that they can manage their friends, their own personal confidence. It is just the self-talk that they have, that we all have. Every single one of us has a little
Oh
voice
yeah.
inside of our head. If they can start to really figure out how to work that in their favor, that's going to be an extraordinary gift. I know that Brent, your son, is a tennis player, right?
He is.
And
Yes.
so mindset's everything. When you get out there on that court, this can work very well with sports as well. But it's a gift that we need to share, and it does not. That's why I just started this show off with we disguise it as a real estate training. This is a gift that everyone needs. Every single time I do a training, many say, I need this for my kid. I need this for my wife. I need this for my husband. Can they do this? Is this something that we have for everyone? But the answer is that the training is out there, and we just need to share this message.
Uh, this is off rail just a little bit because I did ninja training probably about 4 years ago. Similar to Max, like the firm was pushing it. They wanted us to go and do it. And I was extremely busy at the time with work. And so when I entered ninja training, I had the wrong mindset. And I think in anything in life, it doesn't matter if it's ninja training, a listing appointment, or a tennis match, you've got to have the right mindset. So when I did ninja, and I tell our team this as well, that I totally believe in ninja training, but I need to go back and do it again because I did not have the right mindset when I did it.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's true for a lot of people, and almost that I don't want to learn this right now. I don't want to be here. We get a lot of comments. Wow, you really changed. If you're open to receiving, you have to be in a place so you're open to receiving. Now, let's talk about successful agents. Let's talk about brand new agents. Why does Ninja work for both of them? You being a successful agent, you probably do a lot of the different concepts currently already, and you've been through Ninja, so it's just kind of like, yeah, I do that, yeah, I do that. You were tuning out, you were focusing on everything else that you needed to do. The gift of Ninja is to be present and to truly be in the room and really absorb what is being shared, and then relate that to your own life, and how you could implement that. What we find is that whether you are brand new very first day, what a gift that would be. No bad habits, can you imagine? But if you are somebody who is really well seasoned, what the Ninja systems do for you is it packages it up in a way where you can say, wow, I do that, I definitely talk too much. Oh, look at that, I don't really listen near enough, I don't ask enough questions. We can't be the answer to someone's prayers if we don't know what it is that they're praying for. So what it does is it packages it all up, where then you can then just say, okay, I'm going to start implementing this into my business. That was really good. This is where I'm successful. This is what I would add. No ninja does ninja the same way. It's really the law of authenticity. The greatest gift you have to give is the gift of yourself. So make it be yours.
That's a great point. I think so. My whole life, I'm very systematic and I'm very number oriented. I'm very analytical by trade. So even going back to like previous jobs, like everything is like a goal, a weekly goal, a monthly goal, even down to like a daily goal. It could be like running miles, riding bike, how many listing appointments I got to get, how many letters. Past Max on the way in here, those are my 5 letters that I had to do for the day. So across the board, everything is like by the number. So going back to Ninja, I know my weaknesses, which is I need to be more genuine versus like just focused on, all right, I got to have 25 phone calls today. I got to have 4 listing appointments signed this month. Everything is like just by the numbers for me.
I think when speaking to that trait right there, your personality types, Ninja works for all of them. So let's take the DISC assessment, for example, the DIS and C. One of the greatest things about Ninja is that it does not serve one personality type better than the other. In fact, Larry Kendall is a very reserved person himself. So he realized that gift of gab is just some people that's an unteachable trait that some people were born with. So he scrubbed out all personality into it and created systems. Now let's go to your personality type, which is I'm just guessing is kind of the C, what we call perfection, and very detail oriented, analytical research. All really the data is important, and the past. So one of the key things that you have is that people trust you right away because you know what you're talking about. You're the source. One of the things that is missing oftentimes, to your point, is the relationship building. You know, one of the biggest business strategies of Ninja is it's all about relationships. It's a relationship business. So it's really important that you incorporate value. How do you create value? The information being the source, being, you know, the go-to person for all of the data. But in addition to that, it's how you make someone feel. Genuinely being curious about their life, implementing empathy. How you can do that, you know, there's the system of Ford questions. Ford questions have been around, I would say even all the way back to the 60s, asking Ford questions, asking them questions that are truly empathy questions about them. People care about their lives, right? So what's most important in their life? Their family and their friends. F. The O is how's work going? Your occupation. How are things, you know, in the work world? R, what do you like to do for fun? Recreation. So family, occupation, recreation, and then dreams. Now you wouldn't say, hey, Max, what are your dreams? That would be
I'll
creepy.
tell you.
We don't want to do that. But what you do
Couldn't see
want to
myself
do
asking him that.
is really start to think about what does inspire them? What are they most passionate about? You know, if they had a magic wand and they could potentially take a trip of their lifetime, you know, a lot of people right now, because it is graduation season, have people, you know, kids that are going off and creating a whole new life. And so that's a big dream, and, you know, learning more about them. What that does and why that is so important is it makes them feel good and they will remember you more because of that. So a business call, 25 calls a day, great. You did 25 calls. Hey, I just wanted to reach out to you. Hope you're doing well. Hey, the purpose of my calls, I'm just wanted to let you know this, and this. Hey, have a great day. Let's touch base again next week. What you missed was that opportunity to connect at a deeper level. When you connect at a deeper level, that's where the referrals come from, and that's where they want to shout your name from the rooftop.
Tell us more about the writing. Okay, Brent, you alluded to you just sent out 5 letters today. Okay, and I remember the personal notes, sending personal cards and personal notes to people is a big part of Ninja as well. Tell us a little bit about that and why.
You know, think about a really nice email that you have received or a really nice email that you have sent out. We can all raise our hands. We can all say, yeah, I definitely have gotten one of those. And it made you feel good and you were happy about it. It was maybe a quick note of gratitude. Thanks for doing this. You know, thank you for allowing me to, you know, serve you, you know, as your realtor. It was great. That email was nice and it was short-lived. Let's think about the lost art of an actual handwritten note card. This is not a letter. The handwritten note card is something that you just think about when you have received a handwritten note card. It's something most likely you know where it is and something that you've kept because it made you feel good. Now, how do I write a handwritten note card? Few rules. Number 1, it's not about you. It's about them. It's not about you, it's about them. So make them feel good. Share a gratitude, share an appreciation. Make it be about them. That is something that they're going to read that and just think, wow, that is so nice. You know, that really made me feel good. You know, and that's really what our goal is. Make it short. If your handwriting is bad, write it anyway. Just make them short, write big. But it's not about you. And the other thing is you can never, you should never put this in your handwritten note card, and you can actually let it go for the rest of your life. Hey, you know anybody wants to buy or sell real estate? I'm your girl. You can let that go forever. You never have to say that again. Remove that tagline, because what's happening is they're already going to think of you because you're top of mind because you made them feel good. Don't ruin your note card by saying that. It's not about you. It's not about real estate. It's just making them feel good.
So I guess a question deeper on that. One, I have a Mont Blanc pen. and it always messes my hands because I have to stick the thing in there, and I get ink everywhere. It's all over my clothes. So I do that every once in a while.
It's like a real
side
fountain
joke.
pen
It's a
with
real fountain
all
pen.
right,
It's
okay.
my handwriting's terrible, but when I use that pen, it looks amazing. But then I have ink all over the card sometimes. It's it's like a little 5-year-old wrote it. But anyway, so what would you suggest though? So you're not saying, "Hey, I'm your realtor, Brent Jackson," or you're not assuming. Well, I don't either. I mean, I have branded note cards. I have birthday just off the cuff cards, nothing about TTR or Robin Brent, and then I have like my monogram, like J for Jackson. So depending on what I'm sending out, I'll choose one of those 3 cards. What do you suggest?
I love it. I think that all of those are perfect. I incorporate also. I'm the only female in my household. I have 2 boys, and I have some bright colored ones, some blingy ones. I have some more masculine ones. I have more because I live in the mountains. I have some that have really beautiful wildlife scenes. I really tried to make it be to something that will capture them. Sympathy cards, birthday cards, and you should have a collection of those ready to go. In fact, create a station. Practice without fountain pen because you're right, it does look really pretty. I'm left-handed. I have the excuse that my handwriting's bad because I'm a lefty and I smear everything with my pinky. Just keep practicing, keep writing those note cards. Going back to how should I put my business card in there? I would say it depends. Do they know where you are? I like the fact that you have yours branded, with your team, with the TTR Sotheby's International Realty. Those are subtle and hidden ways that you can let them know you're in real estate without never having to even mention it because it's there. You're just making them feel good. The key point here is most people know at least 12 realtors. So how do I become top of mind? We create value. That's the biggest goal, is to create value. How can I create value? It really is making somebody feel really good. Making them feel like you heard them, that they're understood, that you appreciate something big that's happening in their life, or perhaps something that's hard that's happening in their life. One of my favorite ones is just for people that you've lost connection with is, you're just on my mind. I'm thinking about you. I'm wondering how you are. I haven't, and it's a great reason to pick up the phone as well and reach out.
This is a silly question, but I guess the cherry on the top, does the stamp matter? Like sometimes I get stamps from
Thank
the post
you.
office.
It
They
does
do.
matter. I agree
Okay.
with you. Okay, so use a stamp. Don't put it through the meter machine.
Oh, for sure.
The meter machine just looks, I just switched over from winter to my flowers. I've got flower stamps. I've got a really fun stamp collection, but at least a stamp. I mean, just at least a stamp. That's important.
So we're talking with Melanie Frank. Melanie Frank is a ninja selling expert. She travels all over the country. Have you traveled outside of the country to do ninja selling?
Virtually, and my goal is yes. So the ninja right now, because of COVID, was kind of really locked into the United States. But no, but definitely it's something that can be shared worldwide. I think it's important that it's adapted to whatever the audience practice is. But yeah, I travel all over the United States. We definitely we are in Canada, so in Mexico as well.
So in a perfect world, in Melanie's perfect world, everyone would be a trained ninja, right? We'd all be great ninja salespeople, all writing back to Melanie saying, "Hey, I hit all my numbers and exceeded expectations." But we work in a competitive world, Melanie, where we can't get all the deals, and Brent can't have them all. I can't have them all. So in this competitive world, we're giving this positivity. We're grateful. But what about how do you deal with the competition and losing in a competitive situation after you've done all the ninja stuff? Maybe you lost to another ninja. Were they a better ninja? What do you think about that?
I have a lot of thoughts about that. I'm glad that you asked that one. Think about a real estate deal that you lost, and you knew that you were going up against that other realtor. Let me ask you this: who are you focusing on the entire time? Most of the time, you're focusing on the other realtor, right? You're thinking about, oh, how do I, they're going to do this, and oh my gosh, they've sold more than I have in this, and then you start thinking about how am I going to build my case against them. Well, I want you to take all of that out and really switch your mindset into, number one, it's an abundance mindset. There will always be enough transactions. There always will be. There's always going to be enough. And when you believe that, stop worrying about the focus of who my competition is. Your only competition should be, did I bring my A game? Did I bring the best of me? And the other thing is, did I make it be about the seller? Did I make it be about the buyer? What did I really start to learn more about them and ask them questions about what their goals are, giving them time of possession. When you give them time of possession, you follow the process of a great listing consultation. We call it a listing consultation because we're seeking information. We're asking the right questions instead of me, I, me. We like to talk about ourselves, and realtors talk about ourselves too much. When we go in there and really have a focus that makes it be about them and not about us, we're creating so much value. We don't worry about what that competition is. Now, the other thing is, but what about if I'm newer? I'm newer in the business and I haven't sold as much in this area. I want to take my business to that next level. I want to sell more in Georgetown. I want to, I really want to get into that multi-million-dollar level. How do I do that? Well, the power of we. It's not just about how much have you sold. We, and for example, since you both are with TTR Sotheby's International Realty, we at TTR Sotheby's International Realty are a team. The power of we is really helpful, especially if you haven't sold as much in those areas.
So I guess the step before that, you're in the listing presentation and you're making the pitch. Inventory is scarce right now, and we're a big believer, and we have a buyer letter, and we do have buyers for certain sub-markets here in DC. We're not afraid to cold call. We're not afraid to door knock. I was going back and forth with one of our agents today, and he's like, that's not the ninja way. And I'm like, exactly right. This is the Miyagi-Do way. This is the karate way, because you're not staying within your sphere of influence, your referrals, your clients. I mean, whether it's a flyer, a letter, a door knock, or a cold call. I mean, it's someone that you don't know to try to find business for someone. But then once you get it, you're cultivating that relationship. But I'd like to hear your take on that approach, the door knocking, cold calls, that we have a buyer letter.
Couple of things. National Association of Realtors does have some really great statistics on what the conversion ratios are. For example, you would have to knock on 100 households on the doors just to have them open up to have a conversation with you, to be able to then talk to them about real estate. So what is your highest and best use of your time? Let's go back to just make that a broader macro perspective of how do I really relate to attracting more business with people that I don't know. I really want to, I want to capture more. I don't want it just to be my SOI. I want to build my SOI. Why don't we change that into starting to think about how can I really get into that conversation? I would say don't be focused on real estate and what you do and what it means to you. Focus on getting to know them. And really, even if it's just at anywhere, if you are at a tennis match, if you are at any type of social gathering, if you are at the grocery store, anywhere you are talking to people, if you start asking questions about them, innately it will come back to you, and let it be very organic about what it is that you do. Now, 2 questions you're going to hear when you meet people. Well, how's the market? How's everything going? We cut ourselves off at the knees by saying, oh, I'm so busy, and oh, there's no inventory. I'm so slow. There's no sales going on. I wish we had more listings. We have to stop saying that. Now we put it back to them. Let's use the Socratic method. An example is, well, what have you heard? What part of the market are you interested in? Make it be about what they're interested in, because when we say I'm so busy and there's no inventory, what are they hearing? Oh, they asked you a question. They're interested. Now we have an opportunity to stay connected and to be that source. Whether you're going to be, providing more of a real estate review, an overview of what's happening in their neighborhood, what's been happening in specific areas, you get to now be that source for them.
It's an interesting approach. For some reason, it's the right approach, but it's one I never take. It's like, don't ask a question with a question. But yesterday at tennis, everybody up there knows I do real estate. There's about 40 different families that circulate through there. Case in point, guy sits down next to me. He's a hedge fund manager, and he's like, how's the market? Bam, here's my answer. Instead of like, which market are you talking about, or what have you heard?
It's an invitation for
Right.
potentially creating a relationship
Yeah.
and doing business with this person. It really could be.
I'd say with the hedge fund manager, I would definitely turn that right back around and say, like, well, what have you heard?
Right.
Sounds maybe you know more than I do, so let's go, man. You know,
I need to go back to ninja training.
right, right. So Melanie, a few minutes ago, you were talking about, you know, I do a lot on TikTok, and you were mentioning maybe I could do something different, talking about go back to that and talk about how you can be a good ninja on social media, because it's not exactly like a one-on-one interface.
Okay,
Um,
yes, let's talk about social.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell us
keep
about
going
how
with
to.
your question. Yeah,
I'm
ask
just
me.
saying, you know, like
How can Max be a better Max?
yeah, how can I be even better on TikTok?
Okay.
But okay, a lot of my TikToks are I'm walking through houses, I'm doing voiceovers, there's a little bit of personality here. I'm on the comments, like, you know, just doing my thing, right? But to create value, right? And create the person, what's a ninja way to do that on social media?
Okay, with social media, we really suggest to start thinking about number one, how do I use social media? You can use Facebook still, even though a lot of people are thinking that it's antiquated, to pull information. Pull information about what's happening in people's lives. People air everything on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok about what's happening with them. So pull information. What am I looking for? What do I mean by that? Anybody who is going through any type of pain or pleasure, those are the people that I want to put on what I call my warm list. My warm list is people that I want to start building a relationship with, because what we know is people will pay money for two things: to solve a problem or to make them feel good. So my goal is to start to understand a little bit more about that. So pull information. How do I create value? Respond offline. Really watch. Now, pushing information. I'm saying, like, every time you're just pushing, here's a listing, here's a listing, here's a listing, I'm so great, I'm so great, I, me, me, me. Now, change that into being more customer centric, using the platinum rule: treat others the way that they would like to be treated. Ask yourself, where's the value, and what can I do that will make a difference for them? What's relevant to them right now? Now, it could be valuable market data, market information, what's happening in the market right now. It could be, right, property taxes. How do I dispute my current property taxes? Those are valuable things. You want to be establishing yourself as the source, but with TikTok, you're making it fun, and you actually have a personality, and you're making it be, somebody who is likable. People like to do business with people that they know and that they trust and that they like, and that they are connected to. They want to feel connected. So relatable.
That's great for Max. I'm glad that he's going to be even a more phenomenon on the TikTok.
Well,
he's an influencer.
It's a process. I mean, you can have an idea for being face up and creating content, and then it flops. It takes work, with all that kind of stuff. Melanie, you know that.
Yes, it definitely does. But I think that consistency again is the key. The goal is to really stop making it be more about pushing and really more about pulling information and speaking to that audience.
Quality over quantity.
Are you an influencer yet? I mean, do you have paid advertisements if you put something out there?
They've sent stuff to me like, will you, like, they said they give you these offers for products. The answer is like, no, not really. But they send you these products, like the most ridiculous stuff. Like, one was a neck massager, but it was like an infrared neck massager. So I get this device. It's so janky, and I put it on my neck, and I swear to God, it shocked me. And I was like, I can't advertise this. I'm serious. This is like,
what would you be doing, like in the house? Like, this is what I do when I do
or just
my
walking
TikTok?
around, like, oh, you might have noticed my neck massager, just something stupid. I don't know. But like, when it shocked me, I was like, I can't advertise this.
I can't.
Sorry. So I haven't received any products yet that were worth my while.
But on the line of all these technologies, whether it's a neck shocker or TikTok, in ninja selling, is there any technology platforms that you'd recommend, whether it's a CRM or just something else to help agents kind of dive deeper into the ninja mentality?
I think from a digital perspective, we need to have a CRM. Because your database is a central nervous system to your entire business. In fact, the statistics show that those 60% of realtors do not have a database of any kind. The 40% that have something, anything, even if it's just Outlook and Excel spreadsheet, they have something that they can stay connected to their past clients that they still are building a relationship with. They do 251% more business. 251. So it is imperative that you have one. The best advice that I have on what CRM you should use, the one that you will use. Okay, so maybe I don't have one. And you say, oh my gosh, I'm in that 60%. I don't have anything. Start looking around in your office. Who's somebody that's more like you, who's having some success, who's a little bit more dialed in that respect of having a database. Find out what CRM they're using, because I can't go to Brent and say, I want to know what you're doing if you're really tech savvy and you're really into the details and I'm not into the details. That one's not going to work for me because I'm going to just go squirrel and I'm not going to pay attention to that. So really do find the people that you're most like in your office and ask them what they're using. But the one that you will use is the best one, because again, 251% more business is done when you have a database.
Yeah, I really think that implementing, for me, I'm using Follow Up Boss right now. And I think especially when the market is ebbing a little bit, it helps you stay on task with other like leads that may have gone slightly dormant. It just keeps you moving through your contacts.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that, because it's very easy when you're not getting this specific, like I'm not Brent Jackson. I don't get like, 10 listing calls every day. So I need, we need to be out there and like pushing it out a little bit. And I think CRMs are fantastic. And I think people should definitely take a look at all of them and utilize one for sure.
I think you have an affirmation. I'm open to receiving 10 listing calls each day.
Nice,
and
okay.
over and over and over again. I think that's perfect. That'd be really
I want
good.
the same calls that Brent's getting though, because I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they were interviewing.
Yeah, so well, you
who's
can be
the
more
better ninja?
specific. $10
Right.
million listings.
It's like we both drive up to the same house and we get out of our cars. We're like, what?
Yeah.
I was at 1 o'clock, you know?
Right.
All right. So where can agents who don't know ninja selling, I mean, they know more now than they ever did if they don't know it. What are the different resources? Like, what are the top resources for ninja selling? Where can they go?
The book is on Amazon. It's sold out several times. It came out in 2017 and 2018 award. It actually won the Best Business Book Award. This is what the cover looks like right here, and it's Ninja Selling: Subtle Skills, Big Results by Larry Kendall. That's a great resource and a great place to start. We really would encourage you to, if you subscribe to that philosophy, if you really want to make some changes in your life for just being more on purpose versus on accident, it's definitely something that you should consider going to a Ninja installation. And ninjaselling.com has all the installations on their calendar.
A couple of questions on that. So we've had a couple of new agents on our team, and I've always told people wait at least a year, kind of find your way through real estate, how you're doing business, and mudding it up or not. Do you have a recommendation on, like, you just got your license, go straight to Ninja, or wait a little bit?
Go straight to Ninja, because you don't have any bad habits yet. What we learn in real estate school is a lot of information, but it doesn't teach us how to build our business. It doesn't teach us how to systematically put it into the correct flow and what are the habits. It always comes down to our habits. And so if you really focus on what do I need to be doing today, especially as a brand new agent who doesn't have any ideas of what they're supposed to be doing, I just want to be like Brent and Max. They're playing tennis, they're having fun, they're out going doing this, and then all of a sudden different habits are coming into play. So our goal is that you what a gift to be able to go right away.
Next question. So a lot of us are on teams. Would you recommend transaction coordinator, marketing assistant, director of operations, COO, chief operating officer? Would you recommend the people on your team, not agents, take Ninja Selling as well?
Okay, there's a couple of things. A couple of things that you should really start to think about are if you are going to try to implement systems and they don't understand it, and you want to start to change things and really do these systems, and they don't understand it, you can't really necessarily just hand them the book. I think there's a lot of value lot of value in bringing them to a Ninja installation. Yeah, it's an investment. It's an investment that will skyrocket your business if you're all speaking the same language, because it really is a language. So if you just went, but the rest of your team didn't go, you would have some great ideas, but it would take you off that path so fast. If you really want to stay congruent and be on the same path, I would definitely suggest that you have the key players go to Ninja.
Um, I think we can sum up a little bit. I want to say that I'm not like a paid Ninja person, but I think Ninja is probably the most effective selling course and book for realtors. I mean, I've read plenty, and I think it's fantastic. And I think gearing towards the positive thinking aspect of it is very important in business and in life. And I think that's one of the great things about it. Also, working with you directly, you're amazing when you're presenting, and to get to spend that time with someone who is so like you get it, and like you're like one of the best presenters I've ever seen. Actually, it's like very captivating. So when you're with someone and you see that, and then you see other people getting the same ideas, it's a great, I don't know, it's a fantastic experience. Mindset's important though, right? Being open to it.
Mind over matter.
So Brent, but what you just said at the beginning of the podcast, though, you said like your mindset may not have been in the right place when you took it, but do you also agree that it's a pretty good method?
No, it's very powerful. And I'm doing systems anyway. I'm very analytical. I had the wrong mindset, and I realized that. I don't tell people don't take Ninja. I think Ninja's phenomenal. I don't tell them to take it right away, but I will now. But whether you take it year 1 or you take it year 10, we've had a lot of agents in our firm take it multiple times over. This 1 hour power hour here has made me realize that I want to take it again, and I think that I would find where Melanie's teaching it so I can get the same
Definitely.
result that you got. And I also think it's important to do it outside of your geographical area. Not that you want to do business, but if she's in Aspen, Colorado, that is a natural feeder, Colorado down to Washington, D.C. So I might meet some key players there, and vice versa. Like if they're thinking about Washington, D.C., I went to this Ninja class with Brent, so it's kind of a win-win. And Aspen's a beautiful place too, so I'm definitely going to rethink this.
I like that. Just make a trip out of it. Find out where Melanie is and just go to that one.
Right.
I like that.
It's a good practice, and I love the idea because when we think about a referral network, getting to meet like-minded agents, from a feeder market and building those authentic relationships, that's how you're going to be top of mind, and you're going to be the person that they want to refer and do business back and forth with. So I think that is a very powerful idea, and I love that you said that people have gone multiple times. You can't just go to one training once and think it's all going to stick. It speaks to where you are at in your life when you take it again. But what we have seen is that many will take it once a year or every 18 months, and it just keeps it fresh, but they are able to then expand on it. Remember what we spoke about earlier, it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. You don't have to do it all, you just need to do something. So the more that you start to focus on this, and we're evolving with new information as well that's relevant, and so it does change in the content, and it definitely changes each time you take it in the way that it speaks to you, inside internally.
Melanie, did you have anything else you wanted to add? I think we hit all the important points. At least I do. Is there anything we missed that you think we missed?
I think that when we go into mindset, my greatest takeaway from Ninja, and one of the greatest gifts, is understanding the power of our non-conscious mind. And that's why affirmations are so important. And then the other one is response-ability, the ability to respond. And when we think about Ninja, it's not that we're so optimistic that we're completely oblivious, living in a bubble, that bad things don't happen, to us. But what it does give you is the gift of deciding how you're going to respond to a negative situation, a hard diagnosis, something that has happened, a real life, crisis in your life. The ability to respond-ability is such a gift. And psychologists say that we have a choice in how we're going to respond to everything in our life. Will I respond in a victim mode, meaning, oh my gosh, this happened to me, this is so awful, it happened to me? Or am I going to respond in a player mode of, that's a really hard thing. I'm going to rebound from this. Or a player mode is always being, with, the right mindset that people love to be around, the positivity, if you will. So response dashability is another really big one.
Great.
Just curious, are you still selling real estate, or are you just a ninja selling PhD?
I feel like I'm fluent in all things. I feel like I sell real estate every day. My husband is in real estate. My, everybody that I speak to is around this. But what we really also are doing is, I'm not selling anymore because I wouldn't be able to manage. But I'm definitely a referral agent. I work a connector. I'm the connector. Just connecting people here, there, and everywhere, and really trying to be a valuable resource for that as well.
Great stuff.
Good stuff.
All right, Melanie, I think we're going to hit you with some rapid fire questions now.
All right, let's do it.
So 5 easy questions. If we don't have one, we'll skip and go to the next one.
All right, perfect.
Ninja Selling is the greatest selling book of all times. What is the second book that you would recommend?
How to Win Friends and Influence People. Excellent book. I actually just pulled it back out the other day and just looking at the key learning points of that. Fantastic.
Good stuff. You're in Aspen, which is absolutely gorgeous. Where do you go for vacation then?
Oh my gosh, anywhere. So I am in Colorado, and we have a lot of winter here. So I'm a beach person. I love to do installations anywhere it's warm, anytime it's warm. I love to travel. I love to go everywhere. My most recent favorite vacation, which I'd never been to, is Grand Cayman. Hands down, amazing. Put it on your list for sure. Love.
Another guest mentioned Grand Cayman too. So I guess I got to head there.
I'm telling you, and Maui is my go-to. Maui is always my special place in my heart. I would say that Grand Cayman is giving it a little bit of run for its money.
Nice.
Any scuba diving or snorkeling?
Oh my gosh, you can just walk out. You can actually walk out. They have a place which they call Stingray City. And you take these boats out to the middle of the ocean, and you can stand in the middle of the ocean with this crystal blue water, and stand. It's up to your waist deep. And there are stingrays that you can pet that are wild stingrays. I mean, yes, yeah, I would say absolutely. It's an incredible place.
You did that?
I did do that. And they say if you kiss a stingray, and I'm kind of afraid of the creatures in the sea, I'll be honest with you, but they say if you kiss a stingray or get kissed by a stingray rather, you'll have 7 years of good luck. Well, I didn't get kissed by one, but I kissed one. So I was trying to get kissed by one.
Brent, you need to go kiss a stingray, and you know it.
Yep.
When I was younger, I got thrown out of a boat. I was young, and I got a pool of jellyfish around me, so I've been afraid of the ocean ever since. I mean, jellyfish will do that.
Yeah. They will do that, yeah, for sure, instantly. That will definitely that'll have
a turn off
shift.
Last live concert.
Andrea Bocelli. Andrea Bocelli and I travel together actually often, but
you travel with him?
One that I saw, yes, he's in my ears for every boarding on every single airplane, and I get to just drown out the chaos and just listen to him. And I've had the opportunity to see him perform live, and he was my most recent one. Amazing.
That's awesome. You get one dessert for the rest of your life. What is it?
Oh my gosh. Chocolate mousse, anything dark chocolate.
Very good. Last one. What are you currently binge watching?
Okay, so I am not a TV watcher. I tune it out. It's just something that doesn't it doesn't speak to me. If I were going to turn on the TV, I go straight to Friends.
Okay. Follow-up question. Which Friends character are you?
Okay, so that's a great question. I would say that I'm definitely much more Monica out of all of them. Monica I'm not as OCD as Monica, but I'm definitely a planner, and I definitely like things in their place, and I love organization. So I would definitely, but there's a little Rachel in me too.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, Melanie, thank you so much for joining us this morning early on your time, and it's great to see your face. I'm sorry we didn't get to hang out a little longer at the global networking event, but just great to see you, and really appreciate everything you do.
Wonderful. Thank you both. Thank you both so much for having me. Great job on your podcast. It's really fun to follow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Keyed In with your hosts, Max and Brent, unlocking the minds of the industry's top real estate professionals. For more information on selling your home, find us online at keyedinpodcast.com. Remember to subscribe to Keyed In on Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Keyed In Podcast, at Rabin Max, and at Brent E. Jackson. And follow Max on TikTok at MaxwellRabin_properties.